Welcome, it is Friday, August 21st, and today we're going to use our calculators to approximate the value of trigonometric expressions. Whereas the last couple of days we've done the exact value, now we're going to use our calculator and get the approximate value. Alright, there's two things you need to know when you're working on your calculator, and that's what mode you want to be in. So if I turn my calculator on and I go to the key, it says mode, and if I go down to the third row here, I've got a choice between radians and degrees. So anything that has the degree symbol on it, when you're looking at the problems, you've got to be sure that you've got degree highlighted as the mode. Otherwise your answers will be off. Okay. So the first ones we're going to do are, we'll work in degrees. So I'm going to highlight degrees, just using the arrow keys here. And once degrees blinking, I just hit enter. And now it's set in degrees. Okay. So I'm going to go second, quit. That just clears my screen. Now if I want to find the sine of 14 degrees, right? So I'm clicking the sine key. So I just type in sine 1, 4. It knows it's degrees, parenthesis, enter. Okay. And it's saying round these answers to, I believe on your Math Excel, it might be 2 decimal places. Let me check. So we'll round this answer to 2 decimal places. So if we're looking at 0.2419, 2 decimal places means I look at the 1, and it tells me leave the 4 alone. So my answer is going to be 0.24. Alright, that's the sine. Now we know that the sine is the same as the y-coordinate. The cosecant of 14 degrees is going to be the same as taking the y-coordinate and flipping it. So to flip it on your calculator, you're going to find the key that has x with a -1 on it. Okay, that's going to be over here. I'm pointing at it with my cursor. That will flip your answer. So if I want to get the cosecant, let's clear this. So I press clear. I'm going to type in sine 14 degrees, close my parenthesis, and now hit x to the -1, and that is going to flip it. Okay, and then enter, and there is the reciprocal of sine. That's sine flipped. Right, so if I was going to do this to 2 decimal places, this would be 4133. The second 3 tells me leave it alone, so my answer is 4.13. So the only difference between these two questions here was using the reciprocal button. Alright, next one. So I'm going to hit clear. Cosine 14 degrees. So cosine is our x-coordinate. And then to get the secant, we're going to flip that. We're going to take its reciprocal. So cosine 14. Close the parentheses and round this to the nearest 2 decimals. So the 0 says leave that 7 alone, 0.97. Now to do the secant is going to be the exact same keystrokes. At the very end, I'm going to say do the reciprocal. So that takes the answer and it flips it. It finds its reciprocal. Right, so we've already done it. It's cosine. It's already up on my screen, so I can already just hit reciprocal, enter. Or I can do the whole thing again. This would be cosine 14, close it, reciprocal, and it's the same answer. So this would be 1.030. The 0 says leave the 3 as is, and my answer would be 1.03. All right, tangent. Tangent is y over x. So I just use my tan key. So tangent 14 degrees, enter, 2 decimal places, 4, 9. I look at the third digit. It said if that's 5 or bigger, I'm going to round my 4 up, and I get 0.25. All right. The cotangent is x over y, so I'm going to flip my tangent answer. So I've already got it typed in, so I just have to hit the reciprocal button, x to the negative 1, and there's my cotangent. 4.010. 2 decimal points would be 0.01. Okay, again, I'll do the keystrokes on that. That would be tangent 14 degrees, close my parenthesis, reciprocal, enter. So that's how you deal with degrees. All right, now the answers, the questions over here on the right, I have to change my mode so that I'm in radians now, because all of these values are radians. So I go up to mode, I highlight, make radians blink, hit enter. All right, then second, quit, clears my screen, clear. All right. Okay, now to type in the pi symbol on your calculator, okay, the pi key, I'm pointing at it, is right above the division key, and it's in blue. Okay. So to get to that key, there's a little pi there. I got to go second, and then this, we call this the caret key. It looks like an up arrow. So second, this up arrow, and that'll put pi into your calculator. Alrighty, so I am going to do sine. I'm in radians. Okay, now I'm going to go second pi divided by 8, close my parentheses, enter. Round 382. The 2 says leave the 8 as is, 0.38. Okay, now secant, so this was the y coordinate, this is cosecant, that's 1 over y. So at the end of this, we're going to press the reciprocal button. Right, so clear, sine, second arrow, that puts my pi in, divided by 8, close the parentheses. Now reciprocal, that flips it, enter. And I get 2.613, which would round to 2.61. Okay, cosine, clear, cosine, pi, divided by 8, close the parentheses, enter. 0.923. The 3 is smaller than 5, so the 2 stays the same. Right. To go from cosine to secant, I'm using the reciprocal button. So if you look here, the keystrokes are already the same, but at the end I just use reciprocal to get secant. 1.082. The 2 is less than 5, so this would round to 1.08. Clear. Next one is tangent, so I go tangent, second up arrow, that gives me my pi, divided by 8, close the parentheses, enter. 0.414. The second 4 is smaller than 5, so the second digit stays the same. It should stay A1. Alright, now to go from the tangent to the cotangent, all I have to do is the key. I've already done all of these. It's in my calculator. So now I just hit the reciprocal button, and there's my solution. 2.414, and that 4 is less than 5, so the 1 stays the same. And there's my solution. So that's using your calculator to do to find the trig ratios for degrees or radians. We'll see you next time.